Hi, my name's Amanda, and I'm going to be interviewing you. The first question is, can you indicate why and how your interest in dentistry developed?
So I think my interest in dentistry developed when I was younger, and that was mainly because I used to go to the orthodontist when I was a kid to get braces, and I just really enjoyed the atmosphere there. It felt it was kind of like a home-like atmosphere. I didn't fear going to orthodontist, and I just really enjoyed my time there. So I think the biggest thing that piqued my interest in dentistry was really just the overall atmosphere of the office itself.
And a follow-up question, what have you done to demonstrate your commitment to this profession?
So I think some of the things I've done to demonstrate my interest in this profession would, I think, definitely be shadowing in some of the activities I've done in my pre-dental clubs here at USF. Shadowing, of course, because they gave me like an actual like time in the profession itself, and I got to experience what it was like being a dentist or just being in the office. And some of the things that I've done with my club, such as like, for example, we went to an elementary school and taught kids how to brush their teeth. I think things like that have really not only just piqued my interest in dentistry, but also show that I am still interested in dentistry.
Second question, indicate how and why you chose your major.
So, obviously, the reason why I chose my biomedical sciences major was because I was interested in pursuing dentistry, and it was just the major that kind of checked all the required classes I needed off the list. So, I think that was my biggest motivation for choosing that major.
How has this choice benefited you both personally and professionally?
I think my major has definitely benefited me. I think that it introduced me to different sciences as well. I got to experience things from bio, chem, but not only that, some of like the electives I've also taken throughout my time here at USF has also kind of motivated my interest too. And while I'm still motivated in dentistry, there are so many different things that I've learned throughout my time here that I think I could take a look at when I'm older.
Speaking of getting older, describe your ideal life in 10 years. What will you be doing? What will your personal life be like? And what will you still be working on?
So I think in 10 years, the most definite answer I want is to be a dentist, obviously. I would like to own my own practice, but I know that will probably happen later in my life. But my most solid thing is I just want to become a dentist by 10 years. And I think one of the things I still would like to be working on is to create that atmosphere that I talked about when I was younger, that interested me in dentistry in my own office, because I think that's one of my main goals when I become a dentist.
So, what are some steps you can take to create that atmosphere?
So I think some of the steps I could definitely take. So there's one thing that in my orthodontist office that really just like made me feel comfortable in that space was they had like a room full of just arcade machines. So while I was waiting to be seen by the orthodontist, I would be playing video games and it just took my mind off of that. So one thing that I would like to do is maybe have something like that. Like maybe have, games or something that I could have so that when people wait, they aren't thinking about maybe, their fear of the dentist, but instead are comfortable and doing things they enjoy so that when they actually see me, the dentist, they're more comfortable.
Outside of academic life and professional life, what about your personal life? What do you think your life will be like?
So for my personal life, other than just dentistry, I want to be, let me say, I just want to have free time. I want to have a good work-life balance. I want to be able to do things. I want to go explore the world. I just want to really have more experience in my life that aren't just focused on school and work, because I feel like I've put a lot of emphasis on my life just, taking classes, studying, and working. So I want to be able to enjoy my time and personal time when I become a dentist.
Describe a time when something negative happened to you or you went through something difficult, but which in hindsight can be viewed positively, and explain why.
So I think this question definitely relates to me over the summer while I was taking the DAT, or while I was studying actually. I just feel like when I was studying over the summer, I just felt very unhappy doing the same things over and over again, like waking up and just having to study for the entire day. I just think it wasn't me, and I was struggling so much, not only to just, study, but to find motivation to do anything else, because my mind would always just linger on that, like, oh, you have to study today, you have to study all day. And I felt like I was just expecting so much out of me. But I know that when I actually took the test after all that time studying, while I didn't do as great as I wanted to, it was still my best score. And I realized that even after taking the test, nothing in my life changed. Or nothing major, at least. Like, yeah, of course, financially, I am gonna have to take the test again, so that's a bit of a pain. But it didn't affect my life negatively. And I think that was just so important for me to realize that, yeah, of course, the DAT is important, but I should also be focusing on more of my mental health. So I think that's definitely the most positive thing I've learned from that experience.
How do you think your motivation has changed from this time to maybe the next time you're going to take the DAT?
I definitely do think my study habits are going to change. I think instead, I'm not going to prolong throughout the whole summer studying, because I feel like that really just made me slow down because I knew I had more time. And I think instead of just, taking practice tests like I did, I'm going to actually study the material that I took notes on, because in my final week before the test, the first one I took, I started studying my actual notes instead of just taking practice tests. And after I did that, I realized my scores went up. So I just think my whole thing was that I was just studying wrong, and I just wasn't giving myself enough time to relax. So I think that's how I would change my study habits for the next time.
And you mentioned that you learned a lot about your mental health. Is there anything else that you learned, or is there, do you want to expand more on, how your mental health maybe improved positively or negatively throughout this experience?
So yeah, definitely. I know for a fact that my mental health did improve, and I've kind of had a different outlook on life ever since. I used to be the type of person that was just so strict about everything. For example, going to the gym, studying for everything, getting all my homework done. And while all those things are important, I feel like I never understood myself mentally or allowed myself to, just relax and understand that everything will be okay, because I was just constantly being the best I could be or expecting everything out of me. I just think that was kind of unhealthy. So I think going forward, some of the things I learned, that it's okay to take a break and it's okay to not be your best or do your best. I think that's a more positive mindset for me, because even though I still strive to be the best I can, I think I've definitely alleviated some of the pressure that I've put on myself.
Okay, so next question, how would you describe your leadership style?
So I think my leadership style would definitely be a more understanding type, if you know what I mean. Not so much I just explained how I used to be strict and to the point, and keep working until it's the best you possibly can. I feel like if I were to be a leader in a situation, I would be more understanding of others and try to help them and motivate them to do the best they can with what they have.
Okay, so then describe an example of when you had to adjust your current leadership style to address the needs of a group.
So I definitely think this would relate to my job as a resident assistant here at USF, because there was one time where there was a roommate conflict, and I had to be able to mediate this conflict between two differing opinions. I feel like going through experience had really taught me that people are different and everybody reacts differently. And the best thing I could do in that situation to help those two people was to just be open to them and be able to compromise between them.
And how do you think your job as a resident assistant applies to your dream of becoming a dentist?
So I think it definitely applies in that leadership aspect you were talking about. The RA job has taught me how to more so socialize with people and kind of, be that person that they rely on for information or help. I think that definitely equates to a job as a dentist because when I have my own office, I'll have, for example, hygienists and assistants that will need me, and patients as well too. And just being able to talk to them and helping them when they're in need is such an important part of the dentistry job.
Yeah, and so what do you think are some big takeaways that you can take from your experience of being an RA?
So definitely the leadership, as we just talked about, and I feel like it also has helped me mentally in the way that I think of things and other people. I've learned to be more open with people, be more understanding of their problems and such. So I think that's definitely my biggest takeaway.
Got it. And final question. So, when you say you want to be a dentist and open up your own practice in the future, I kind of just want to ask how maybe your experience here at USF in general can help with that in the future.
So I think definitely most of the things I've learned here at USF would be things such as just like time management, work habits, things like that throughout all the classes I've taken. When I become a dentist, it's definitely going to be hard to run my own office, but I think things such as like time management and being able to get work done are definitely going to be the most important to running a successful office. And then of course, like I said earlier with the RA job, being emotionally there for people will also be important for patients and my assistants and hygienists as well. And I just think overall that my time here at USF has definitely shaped my opinions and the way I think about things that I definitely want to change when I end up making my own office as a dentist.
Okay, well, thank you so much.
No problem.